Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Sonic Comic Chaos. Yeah, that's right. We've already hit 7 episodes. You know, the number of Chaos Emeralds we had to get to bring Ian back to life
Yes.
twice.
Now I've attained my super form, living.
But on this very special episode of this very special show, we will be discussing the arcs Control and Ambushed from the main Sonic the Hedgehog comic book, for those of you reading along at home. But before we get into any of that, Ian, who are you?
It is me, Ian. I'm Ian Waffles. I have a channel on YouTube by the same name and Twitter. I'm currently working on a Kingdom Hearts 2 video, so you can look forward to that. And otherwise, I just kind of talk about anime stuff. And then otherwise, I just torment Ace on occasion. But yeah, that's what I do.
On occasion. And also, you're moving up in the world. You were recently featured on an episode of the Bumblecast, correct? You got to talk to the Ian Flynn himself?
Yes, I did talk to my delicious counterpart, Ian Flynn, my faker, if you will. And it was a great time. It was a great time. He revealed many things that I didn't know.
Yes. Completely unrelated to that, we actually have received a copy of the script for Sonic Frontiers. Again, completely unrelated to our Ian's discussion with other Ian.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so we felt like during the beginning of the show, we would just go through that a little bit. So what really struck you from the script?
Well, the fact that Sega actually got the rights to Godzilla was one of the biggest surprises, because you see in the trailers they have those stock Titan guys that were fighting, and I thought it was really interesting that they were like, no. You see, Sonic sucks now, and we need to like branch out and get people who care about other things to care about him. So they bought the rights. Sega themselves, like the guy, he bought the rights to Godzilla, and Sonic gets to fight him as Super Sonic. It's pretty insane. And the fact that that's in the first cutscene makes me think that eventually we're going to see Mechagodzilla. We're going to see the Godzilla from the My Hero Academia movie. There's just a lot of potential. And I'm really excited for it. I read the first page and I had to stop, honestly.
Well, thankfully, I actually read beyond the first page, and we find out that the whole plot of the game is that the future actually has been decimated by a race of smaller Godzillas that spawned from the big Godzilla.
Oh my gosh.
And so Silver actually had to go back in time to warn Sonic so he could stop the big Godzilla before he could replicate.
Well,
so I thought that was really interesting.
It makes sense that Ian Flynn would rip off Futurama, so that works.
Yeah. I mean, he is a hack, as we both know. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as a Silver fan, I just thought, I really appreciated that, him getting more spotlight. He actually revealed to us that Silver is actually gonna be playable in Frontiers 2, which I thought was nuts.
Yeah, so like in the same way in Mario Galaxy, where your dumb little brother gets to use the other Wiimote to like grab items for you, Silver's head flies next to Sonic and he goes, "I'm gonna grab items," and then he grabs items with his teeth because he doesn't have hands. It's really interesting.
Oh yeah, well we actually didn't mention that too. Yes, Silver does get decapitated by Godzilla in the first cutscene when Super Sonic is fighting Godzilla.
Oh, yeah,
which
is
true. Which is really unfortunate.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we probably shouldn't talk too much more about it. June 9th coming up soon. All of this will be revealed then. So, yeah.
And we got to milk these suckers for all they're worth. So we'll talk about,
absolutely.
more stuff in the next Sonic Comic Chaos. So
yes.
Tune into next episode because you don't know when we'll be talking about more spoilers.
Yeah. Yes. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But anyway, so
thanks for watching. See ya.
What? No, the podcast just started.
Oh, oops. Sorry. I thought that was our news network. Sonic News Network with Ace and Waffles.
The Ace and Waffles.
Sounds like a cop duo. I'm the fat cop, and you're like the cool, like you've done this for years. It's Ace and his partner Waffles. They go on many misadventures.
I'd watch that show. But all right. So getting into the actually, normally this is where we would have our world famous segment, Ian and Ace read your comments, but you all failed us, and we didn't get any comments on episode 6, so you don't get an Ace and Ian read your comments this time. I hope you're happy with yourselves. So we're just gonna hop right into issue 264 of Sonic the Hedgehog, Control Part 1. Now, when we last left our heroes, Ian, what happened when we last left our heroes? I actually don't really remember that much.
When we last left our heroes, we went to Atlantis. We talked to all the fish people.
That's right.
and Chaos was there, and that one girl was like, "Oh no, I killed a baby Chow!" Ah! But then it turned out it was fine. So we didn't find a Chaos Emerald, so we basically accomplished nothing, if I'm correct. And yeah, that was it. Well, no, the B team did.
Yeah, okay. I know a Chaos Emerald was acquired during that arc.
Yes.
So during the worst part of that story, they found the Chaos Emerald.
They found the Chaos Emerald. So we're moving along. And then in between that time, we had Knuckles and his buddies, the Chaotix, and they went on a fun little adventure, and that was dope.
Which you would know if any of you had watched the last episode. You ingrates. But anyway. So...
Don't worry. I did that last episode, and I didn't even read the comic, so I won't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, that is fair. But so anyway, so we cut in here, and we have Sonic, Sally, and Amy, and they're fighting a Gamma, but if he were a monkey. And let me pull up my notes. I forgot to do that. I'm very professional.
I do want to bring attention to one thing that is just very cool, and unfortunately you can't experience it unless you have it physically, which is that the cover obviously has the Werehog cutting through the page, and it reveals underneath it the first page. And so if you actually have the physical, copy, you get this cool thing of seeing the cover and then seeing Sonic behind saying Kitty has claws, which is not only in reference to the robot chasing him, but also the Werehog cutting through the page. So you get to flip the page, and then you get to see the page beneath it. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I think that is interesting. I'm not sure exactly. I assume it's laid out to where the previously page is on the left.
Yeah.
Okay. That is interesting. But so they're fighting Monkey Gamma, but this Monkey Gamma is quickly dispatched by two returning characters, those characters being Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel.
Yes.
Made famous by their appearance in Sonic Mania Plus.
Yes, to the general public.
Yes. Yeah, they Mighty beats the snot out of Gamma. And then we get a quick shot of our new antagonist, who is Thunderbolt. Do we know that they're a chinchilla yet?
Or do we know they're what?
That Thunderbolt is a chinchilla?
I don't think yet, because they're in the suit.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, basically, we cut back to the evil HQ, and Thunderbolt is like, "Grr, I'll get those freedom fighters." And then so Mighty talks to Sonic and Sally and Amy. And they get brought back to their base. And one of my notes is, do they live in an onion? This is an onion.
Yeah, I was wondering what it was.
That's an onion.
Amazing.
Then we meet a new character who, well, I guess we kind of already met him, but we really get our first good look at him here, which is Moss the Sloth, who's like Mighty's mentor. Not much more to say about him for now, but we'll get a little bit more on him later. We find out he's been training Mighty to control his power. And then speaking of power, we see a cool new power that Amy has, which I hadn't really picked up that she had learned this in the previous arc, but apparently she did. Which is the Mystic Melody. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean she helped she had what's her face do it, because she was like, just teach me how to do it and I'll try to help you. So yeah, I guess she picked it up as well.
Yeah. Also, one of my notes is just Sonic's an asshole, and it's great. It's from this part where he's making fun of Mighty and Moss, and I like the idea. We see it throughout this that Sonic just has no patience for like this fucking hippie mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, and I agree because I don't like Moss.
You don't like Moss?
I think he's. I agree with Sonic. Stop talking down to me.
I think he's all right. I think he does what he needs to.
Yeah,
he's no Edmund.
But we'll get to him.
Yeah, like I say, he's no Edmund, that's for sure. But all right, they're like, we gotta get the Chaos Emerald. But before that, we get a quick Chekhov's gun of I think I'm using that term properly, of Moss going like, hey, you got some stuff going on inside you. You need to figure that out. And Sonic's like, no, I don't. And then they go off to get the Chaos Emerald. And it's real bad. They walk into a trap. Sonic gets the shocky shocks. And then he turns into Sonic the Werehog.
That's right.
Dun dun dun. Let me see if I. Oh, okay. One of my notes, I thought this would be an interesting talking point. I put Sonic being a reckless asshole really only works when he has more sensible characters to bounce off of. Which I feel like is kind of like a no duh. Like if you have a character with a certain personality trait, you need another character with a trait that works well with that one.
Yeah.
It's like water is wet, but I don't know, just because in a lot of modern stuff we see, people have complaints about Sonic's character, and I think it's really just due to the fact that we've minimized the supporting cast. Like I think that's one of the reasons Sally works so well is that Sally works as that counterweight to Sonic's recklessness.
No, I get you. Well, and especially with like the way he acts in this, like you kind of have this idea of like, well, too late. We're just gonna go in and beat everybody.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, what did
Not
you
easy.
think of the idea of like them just kind of falling really quickly into a trap? Did you think that was like fine to have Sonic be that reckless, or did it feel a bit like contrived? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
It is definitely a little contrived, but like I wasn't like bullshit. Like I was like, yeah, I guess that, like it tracks. Like it wasn't egregious.
No, I
Like
agree. It was one of those things where it stood out to me as like right, I get it. We have to keep the plot moving. But yeah, it did feel like the trap like again, if he didn't go Werehog here, like they're all just dead, I guess.
I hadn't really thought about that, but you're absolutely right. They would all have just been fucked.
Yeah, so that's why it like stuck out to me as like, well, at least if they were gonna lose, at least make it clever. But it was literally like Eggman should do this way more often. Is just put a thing somewhere, and then he goes, "All right, giant electric field that instantly kills everybody. Goodbye."
Well, what's amazing is that this happens twice.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, but that's really all there is to say about that. Unless you have more to say about the A plot for this issue.
No, I mean, I like Mighty and Ray. I like having them back. I'm not sure how I feel about this whole like Mighty is like, oh, I lose my anger. I want to help the world, but I also want to kill. It doesn't. I don't know. It didn't really feel like it mattered much because it's. I guess he's already went through this, but
Well,
I don't know. It wasn't
I thought
terrible.
I thought it was interesting. I thought because we've seen in Preboot at least, and I don't know, it's been a minute since I've read most things from Preboot. But like in Preboot, they make a point to show like Mighty keep himself under control a lot, but like in the issue with the siege on Knothole, when Mighty loses his cool, like everyone is like, get out of his way or you will die.
Oh yeah. It was just more. I guess it's more that it's not again. It's not a bad thing, but it's just in Reboot they play up this. I guess they're playing up this idea of like he had he had to grow into becoming a gentle giant, whereas like kind of the idea of Preboot was that he was just naturally a pretty soft and good guy, but then if you make him mad, he will kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's different, but it doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah. Again, I haven't read Preboot in a while, so I can't really like. I remember liking Mighty, but and Mighty. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Mighty supposed to be Mighty stronger than Knuckles, right?
I guess it just depends on what your like what story. Because in Preboot, he's like one of the strongest people in the universe.
Yeah. Well,
So I think he's stronger than Knuckles. I don't know if he's stronger than Knuckles in this though. He probably is.
but then in the Enerjack arc, isn't he there when Sonic like 1v5s the Chaotix?
Yeah, but that's just because he doesn't get hit by Mighty.
I mean, I suppose that's fair.
That's all you have to do. Just don't let him hit you.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Also, like the fight doesn't like go anywhere. It's just Sonic dodging the whole time. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I get you. But yeah, no. Again, it wasn't bad or anything. I just thought it was kind of weird because then they bring it back into the second half, which we can talk about. But it was more like an interesting choice. I'm like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So,
but then we get into the B plot for this issue, which is Antoine and Bunny in Harbor Heights, Salmerca. How do you say it, Ian?
South America.
But there's no I.
Because it's South America.
But there's no I.
South America, then. Oh, South America. South America.
Okay. There, which is weird. I had to look this up because I was like, Harbor Heights sounds like too distinct of a name, and no, it's not from anything. I was like, that's from like some Game Gear shit, I bet. And nope, it's just a new thing.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But so basically, there's a flood, and my first note for this part is thanks for the help, Chaos.
Yeah, not doing your job.
Well, because I guess so. It's weird, right? Because you can make the argument, well, just keeping the water from falling into the core is spreading him so thin that he can't focus on just keeping the water from going into these areas. But he apparently can focus enough to go and fight some random Dark Gaia creature in the last arc.
Look, man, every day you gotta have your day off, and today was the day off. And if some people die, so be it.
But so
The
they're
story's boring.
what?
The story's boring.
I liked the story.
What'd you like about it? Tell me.
Well, one of my notes is just I like new Antoine. I feel like this really feels like the natural progression of where he was heading in Preboot.
Yeah.
Because Antoine's whole story throughout Preboot is learning to be brave and learning to be like a soldier and a warrior, and here he is, and I think it works really well.
Yeah. I think this will be a disconnect that I have that you don't have, which allows you to appreciate it more. Which is I don't see these versions of the characters with the same history of Preboot, because one, they're not, because they forgot all of it, but two,
we'll get to that in a minute.
But two, that's kind of because I was talking to my friend about this, and they were like, what's the appeal of Bunny and Antoine's dynamic? Because all I can see is that they're just like generally pleasant together, and I'm like, yeah, that's basically it. That's kind of what I like about them. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, on its own, yeah, that could be boring. And I think it is kind of boring in Reboot, because in Preboot, you have all their history of seeing them as when they were children. You have them, you have like little stories about them, like growing closer together. You have the fact that she was there whenever Antoine's dad died. You have the proposal. You have all the time apart. You have the evil Antoine stuff. So whenever they're just kind of being generally pleasant together, you have all this history that gives it weight. And it's like they've been through like 2 Robotnik wars, and they've lost their family members and all these different things. And so there's like weight to this idea of like they were in part of the freedom fighters, and they were there for each other through a lot of those things. Whereas in Reboot, I don't kind of give it that history. And so them just kind of being pleasant is just sort of, all right, that's neat. I guess they're nice to each other. They're pleasant together. It doesn't, I guess, have weight to me anymore. Whereas maybe for you can transfer kind of that those emotions over from the originals. Whereas to me, these are wholly different characters now.
I suppose that makes sense. I guess for me, it's less that I see them as like the Preboot characters, and more just that I'm always comparing them to the Preboot characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it's hard to explain. It's just like, and again, maybe it's because I have some disconnects. It's been a while since I've read Preboot too. But I don't know. Also, I'm just a big softie, so just them just being generally pleasant is enough for me, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair too. I mean, that's probably why I think a lot of people do like them. Is that they're just cute. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I actually, one of my notes, you talked about how seeing their wedding and all that. One of my notes was, I'm curious how the wedding went in this continuity.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think SBO was fighting for his life in an Eggman base in this version too?
He probably died twice in that version. That's one of the most like messed up looking scenes, because SBO, like, he gets shot with like, I guess, a goo version of the teleporting ray, and it just looks like Eggman disintegrated his whole body, and there's like little crisps and stuff. It's like, holy, he's dead.
I always thought that scene was really interesting because it's just cutting from, oh, this wedding, it's so sweet, Antoine and Bunny are crying, and to friggin' SBO running for his life.
Yeah.
I think the caption boxes literally say something to the effect of like, well, these two are experiencing the happiest moments of their lives. SBO is experiencing his last.
Great. It's pretty funny. I like to think that it's Eggman doing the narration.
Oh, that'd be great. Actually, we're gonna get another bit from that story a little later, but I have a note somewhere, but we'll get to that. But so my last note for this, because they save some people, and then Bunny is like, I'm sad because she gets distracted at one point because she's worried about Antoine, and so she almost kills some people, and so she's like, oh man, I hope you don't die. And Antoine, in essence, says, don't worry, I won't die. And
Not
then
this time.
I wrote in my notes, I basically was like, okay. Like, I get they don't remember it, but I do. And so it's very funny.
It is funny. Yeah, because he's like, I promise to never die.
But so, and that's issue 264. Moving into issue 265, Control, part 2 of 2. We're back in the A plot. We see Sonic going full Werehog. He, oh, wait. Hold up. But so, anyway, we see Sonic fighting as the Werehog with these people, and it's very serious. But so, then no, I'm not doing this for the whole thing.
I would have. You got me this time. I also had like PTSD war flashbacks when that happened. I was not expecting that.
My first note for this issue is literally just remember to play the Werehog battle music.
I'm glad you did.
Okay, but so Sonic's fighting, and we see he breaks Thunderbolt's stupid suit and throws her out of it. And my next note was just, I love this stupid chinchilla already. I don't know, something about it is just fun.
I love when she's like, "I'll kill you, Werehog," and then like he just grabs her by the face, and it's like a squeaky toy, basically.
Yeah.
Just tosses her.
Yeah, it was great. And so then they run off to the woods, and Mighty goes, and he's like, Sonic, you need to chill. And I really like this, what they did with the Werehog here, how like Sonic loses himself for, when he first gets exposed to it.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Well, I mean, it's what you would kind of hope would happen, is this idea of like he's been holding it back. So it's like, what are the consequences? And I kind of like the distorted world that he sees.
Oh, that's really cool. It just sucks that this goes away so quickly. I think you could have done something really interesting with Sonic, like, being worried about. And I mean, that's why, spoilers, at the end of this issue, he decides to stay here because he's worried about what it'll do to his friends. But like having these, distorted worlds be like reflections of Sonic's insecurities, and like, having Sonic be genuinely worried about like his own power and being a danger to those around him. Like, it's a really interesting concept, and it really sucks that it only lasts like 2 issues, basically.
Well, and I think maybe what it's lacking is that when he's going ape mode, he only like, hurts the chinchilla lady and then like Mighty. And it's like, well, the chinchilla lady's bad, so I don't care. And then Mighty can take it, and he's not too worried about it, so that's fine. So it's not that he needed to like hurt Sally or Amy or whatever, but I do think like his kind of worry kind of gets undercut since he's kind of helped out of it so quickly.
Yeah, well, I do like that scene though. I do like the scene of them getting in between them, and it's his friends who are able to talk him down, and we see the Sally talking about when they first met, and Amy's like, and perfect chaos was a thing that happened too.
Yeah,
and
we're
so
friends with that guy.
Yeah, so that was cool. I like that scene. Okay, I think this is where I meant to bring up the Mighty strength level, because I had the note that said the Werehog being strong enough to fight Mighty is interesting, but I feel like we already talked about that pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to imagine just with the stretchy arms. All he does is he just tosses him around.
Yeah,
So just because you're strong doesn't mean gravity doesn't work.
Yeah, but so then it turns to day. Sonic turns back to himself, and he's like, I'm not leaving here until I figure out how to control my powers. And I thought that was cool. And then we get our B plot, which, Ian, just generally, how did you feel about this B plot?
I'm trying to wait, because I remember the wedding one. So wait,
Sky Patrol.
Oh, is this where he's like showing off Sky Patrol?
Yes.
And then it turns into a giant walrus mech.
Yes.
That was pretty fun.
I love it.
Yeah, I liked the art, and I also think it was just a good idea as far as getting us acquainted with this thing, because I really do like the design of Sky Patrol, that it's like the little it's like a bumper, and it's also obviously the little circle and the wings that every classic Sonic game kind of has, or at least 1 and 2, and that kind of classic design. So there's a lot to like about it, but also if this is going to be our new home, you want to like get used to it, you know? So I liked this idea of him just showing it off, and then also just kind of having like this ridiculous, funny thing of like, and then it can turn into me.
Wait, was it turning into? I thought Eggman. I think the rotor robot is Eggman.
I'm getting it mixed up. I'm sorry.
Well, either way, I loved this because it just felt so much like a classic Archie Sonic story.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause it
they're
was
just hanging around.
bonkers.
Yeah, like they're just hanging around, like, and Rotor's like, "Look at this cool thing I built," and then Eggman just throws some stupid robot at them, and then it's over. Like, I thought that was great. And also, we find out apparently he's gonna try the Tails doll plot again.
Yes.
Why? You already did this.
He doesn't remember.
No, he does. Remember when Sonic first shows back up in this new continuity, the first thing he has to deal with is that Tails doll is destroying Mobotropolis.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't remember. Okay, yeah. So sorry. I have the story right here. Yeah, you're right. The Rotor Walrus is the other one. But yeah, no, I love seeing all the weapons and things he has. No, I like the story. Also, it's good to have James Fry actually give us some good art.
Yeah, no, I really like this one. But so then we move on to issue 266, which is, please load. There we go. Which is Ambushed, part 1 of 2. Why did this need to be 2 different arcs when it covers very similar subject matter? I don't know. Shut
Marketing.
up. I don't know. Well, I mean, probably, because I mean, you notice that the biggest number on any of these issues, whenever they do a new arc, is the 1. So we can have, it could be like, hey, no, kids, it's okay. You can start here. It's fine.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah. But so my first note is, once again, Sonic having no patience for hippie mumbo jumbo is something I enjoy.
Yes, I agree.
I bet Sonic would agree with me about the rant I went on off mic about crystals. But audience, for some clarification, after the last episode, I was talking about experience I had being dragged to a crystal shop and how I despise everyone who sells crystals because they're all charlatans.
And also, they're ruining the market for us real con artists
Of
who tell
course,
you
of
Sonic
course.
comic reviews.
Moss seems like the kind of guy who would peddle crystals. But anyway, so
Is that a jumpsuit or is that his fur?
that's definitely a jump. That's definitely a jumpsuit. I had to look at that's definitely a jumpsuit. You can see it around his feet. It's got like little pajama stuff. John, Avast. There's no virus. Shut up.
Avasti.
No. Okay. So anyway, so Sonic is racing, what's his name? Moss, through the forest. And what was the point of this? Why were they racing? It was because Moss was like, well, I almost beat you even though I'm a sloth because I know the forest. You need
And
to
this
like
is
think.
how you know yourself, Sonic.
Yes. I'm like Edmund, but if he was less fun.
Remember when Edmund told Silver that since the room was dusty, he should just turn his head upside down and use his frolly things to dust?
I don't remember that, but that's funny.
It's a great moment.
Oh man. I didn't even hate Moss going into this. Your hatred of Moss has like seeped into me.
I just think he's stupid and he doesn't know what he's talking about. All his advice comes down to, it feels like discount diet expired Iroh, and I don't like him.
Who's Iroh?
Uncle Iroh from Avatar.
I've never seen that.
Where he's just like, the forest is you and you are the forest, so if that's the case, then blah. And he's like, man, he's really annoying. And then Mighty's like, but he's right. And I'm like, is he?
My girlfriend has seen Avatar, and every time she mentions it, I go, "Oh, like that movie by M. Night Shyamalan? Yeah, I love that one."
And then you die.
She gets so mad at me. It's like that movie starring Ong, right? That's
With
how you
Ong
say his name.
and Zokai. That's not even a real mistake. I just made that up. But yeah, no. But yeah, no, definitely. With Moss, yeah, like he's not terrible or whatever, but I hate him, so he can die.
But so then we cut to Dr. Eggman, who's chewing out Thunderbolt, and my note just says Eggman is great.
No, I love the little hologram thing of the fact that he puts the finger through the hologram's head, and somehow like the real one feels like it's going through her head.
Yeah. I liked failed. It's great.
Yeah, he's pretty fun.
But so
I miss robot minions. No breathing or needing to screw up.
oh well, you know what's interesting? I actually have a note about that. It's a long one. I go I wrote this line about roboticization isn't exactly accurate, as in Preboot, it was revealed that he programs his egg pawns with the ability to be afraid because he liked pushing them around.
Mhm.
So like, I know it's not the same continuity, but like when you're directly contradicting stuff, I'm gonna point it out. Sue me.
Your Preboot soul, it cries out. Roboticization doesn't even like happen in this version of the world. Like Bunny didn't get roboticized. She was just in an accident.
What am I thinking of? The point he says basically the line something effective like robots, just do what they're told. You don't have to threaten them. When like in the last continuity, he literally programmed his robots with the ability to feel fear so he could threaten them.
Well, that's also why he liked having like Snively and all them, because he wanted the game.
Yeah. But so
It's different now.
Oh, then we get this chart where we find out about the dark Gaia energy. And my next note was also a long one where I put this chart brings up so many questions. First, small animals isn't listed on here. And second, what exactly are in chaos drives?
Yeah. I think that's just more, playing into the whole like SA2 thing where you can use chaos drives to give Chow stats.
I think I want to say canonically though, Omega runs on chaos drives.
Oh, really?
No, he does. Because in the arc we're talking about next episode, I think he explicitly says something about like, oh, my chaos drive when he gets gutted by Eclipse, something about chaos drives.
Okay.
So this chart is wrong and dumb. Although I do like the little bit at the bottom where he goes, Chaos Emerald's not listed, infinite power, remember. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
But so and then he talks about setting up Eggman Land, which do we see, like, unless I'm mistaken, we don't see Eggman Land until way further down the line, right?
We see it in Eggman's arc, and then we see it, way later into the story.
Although I guess that is the benefit of, Ian knowing, not you, Ian, other Ian, knowing, like, how Unleashed goes, where he can set these things up and then, pay them off later with, because he already has kind of like a basic blueprint of how this needs to go.
Yep.
But so then we cut back to the Sky Patrol and the Freedom Fighters talking about like, there's a Chaos Emerald, might be a trap. Should we go get it? And they're like, yep. And
obviously.
And then Cream's like, can I go get killed with the rest of you? And Sally's like, no, you can't get killed until you're at least double-digit age.
So you're at least an IDW. Then it's allowed. You got one more comic, Cream, then you'll be old enough to die. The only reason we got to die in our first is because we were around for at least 20 years, so they owed it.
They owed it.
And then they're like, Sally, you died twice.
Twice.
An Endgame. And then
the
writers said she could come back, and then they made her a robot, and then she stopped existing.
We're counting her roboticization.
Oh wait, no, she also 3 times because she got shot in the face.
Oh my god, you're right.
So then they're just like, Sally, you get special treatment. She's like, yeah, you're right. I love that she just gets shot in the face by a gun.
You could argue she gets 4 deaths based on how she was character assassinated in 134, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so then we got that.
I love you, John Gray. It wasn't your fault. You tried to make it cool, and everyone hates you.
But so then
the slap wasn't meant to, I don't know if you know this. The slap wasn't in the script, but John Gray just added it.
I've seen that. Yeah, that's took us fucking like 100 issues before they could just get back together. Then she was immediately made a robot. It's stupid.
And then when they got to the new timeline, Sonic was allowed 1 hug, 2 tears, and keep away, boy. She's with the computer now.
Why can't they just be happy?
Not allowed.
Is that
I
so
mean,
hard?
here's the thing. That's why the 25 and 30 years later stories are great because they just get married and are happy.
That is true.
Uh,
Those are fun.
That's why I always say like Sally, like Sonic and Sally, like fans like us, like we're spoiled. Like we literally have 2 timelines where Sonic and Sally get together, get married, kiss, have children. They're king and queen. They have a happily ever after, and then they have like the whole story of just like their romantic drama. And it's like, yeah, we got a lot.
I mean, yes, but shut up, Ian.
Give me more.
Yes, exactly. But so anyway, we cut back. Sonic's on a waterfall, which you think he would be terrified of doing, but whatever. And then, uh, oh, my nose. Everyone's text boxes being orange is annoying. Because at first it's Mighty, they cut away and then Mighty is saying something that's in an orange text box. I'm like, well, he's red, so I guess maybe. And then another character does, and then finally it's like it's Sally, and it's like, why don't they have like specialized text boxes? They had specialized text boxes in the Chase.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like ugh. It's not a very good. It's like an ugly orange too. Like it's neither here nor there. Anyway,
picker. No, I agree.
but so then Moss says some more stupid shit, and then we get a cool moment between Sonic and Mighty with the respect bro fist.
Yeah, they do a lot of bro fists.
And then we have a quote where I wrote down where his Knuckles Mighty says, "You helped me get my act together back in the day," which like, what?
Yeah,
What are we alluding to there?
I mean, I guess they're referring to like Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Like in that game, I guess we're supposed to imply that happened.
Was he like a villain in that game or something?
No.
Well, then why? What does that mean then?
I don't know. I'm trying here.
But so
Maybe we were gonna get to it, and then we got canceled. Actually, no. Here's the funny thing. That's not even a joke because
that's not a joke.
Because the issues that got canceled, one of them was gonna be a Mighty Ray Sonic backstory. So never mind. They were just gonna explain it.
I remember that. I remember because I remember specifically. I don't know why I remember this. I remember someone on Twitter hitting up Ian and going like, "Oh man, is this going to be like them referencing Pre-Boot?" Because the plot of the issue is apparently going to be every one of them has a different interpretation of the first time they met. And so a fan was like, "Oh man, are they going to reference Pre-Boot in that?" And Ian Flynn was like, "No, that's dead."
Idiot.
But so then the Sonic's like, "Oh man, it's about to get dark. I'm about to Werehog out again." And they're like, "Hey, don't worry, you got this, bro." And so we get an admittedly pretty cool transformation. Like I don't know what this hand thing Sonic is doing is, but I like it. And then just one issue, and then it's fixed. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think ultimately the main problem I have with it is just that it doesn't like mean anything for Sonic's character because all the whole idea is just this scary form of you is you, and he goes, "Oh yeah, makes sense." And it's like, I don't know, he didn't really have to like learn anything. I guess that's what the race was for, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was much of a struggle because it felt so external, where it's just, oh no, I'm gonna transform and be scary. And he's like, yeah, but like when you're the scary version of you, it's just you, idiot. And he goes, oh, you're right. And it's like I think it would mean something more if, because what Mighty brings up is he's like when they fight, is he says something like, I know what it's like to have so much power and there's so much wrong with the world and you don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, okay, you can say that all you want, but I don't know if that's what Sonic's feeling.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so like if they had brought that up of like, oh, this isn't just like a rage form. Like, no, it's actually like I remember when I was in this form, I was thinking of this, this, and this. And that's a part of me too. I don't know how to feel about that. But instead, it's just, this is a big, maybe that was the implication, I guess. But if it was the implication, then it wasn't compelling enough as implication, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think, again, I don't know, because obviously if you do it too long, you risk it being, dragged out, and so it's like, you risk it being dragged out, you risk going through it too quick, there's a weird middle ground you kind of have to hit. And so I don't know exactly what the solution would have been. Like, I don't know how long like they should have had this go on for. I just think like as it is, it definitely feels a little rushed. I definitely
doesn't mean anything going forward because it didn't change anything about Sonic.
Well, he has cleats now,
That's true.
which they never question. Like they acknowledge it. They acknowledge his shoes change, but they don't go like, "How does the Dark Gaia energy change your shoes?"
I mean, if Sega isn't gonna bother, then why should Ian Flynn be expected to?
I mean, I suppose that's fair. But so then we cut to Sand Hill Zone, which that's from something. I don't know what it's from.
Looks like Green Hill is more like Sand
No,
Hill.
no. God damn it, Ian.
Isn't that?
That's no.
That's what he says, right?
Yes, that is what he says, but shut up.
Yeah.
But so anyway, the Freedom Fighters are like, "There's a Chaos Emerald. It's definitely a trap. Should we like do something?
Should we like set it off and die? And they're like, I wasn't doing anything else today.
But so then we get some new E100 robots, which look peculiar.
I like their designs.
Yeah, I think they look interesting. One thing I only realized now, and it wasn't like, it wasn't like I thought the opposite. It was just something I'd never thought of. It's explicitly stated that E123 Omega is the last E series robot. Why? But so all the E series we see, just out in the wild are numbers between 102 and 123, which I just think is really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice attention to detail.
No, that's a cool attention to detail, and I also just like their designs. I think they look cool.
Oh, I mean, seeing more of them is because there's a lot of numbers between 102 and 123. So like, seeing more of them like that, like again, I think I said this in our third episode. Like this is the kind of stuff I would want to see from a comic that's meant to build on the lore of the games.
Well, and sorry, were you finished?
Nah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so what I also think is interesting is the idea of it's what I call conceptual power scaling. So it's kind of like in the Sonic comics, like they don't ever really bother to really show like this is about how strong Sonic is, or like these are kind of his moves or things like that. And all the characters are kind of similar. Like we don't know exactly how strong Antoine is because he's just breaking robots or he's killing Dark Gaia monsters. And so it's kind of hard to get a gauge of like what should be stronger than our heroes. And what I think conceptual power scaling then is that you as a fan, we know what a E100 mecha is like. It's like Gamma, it's like Omega, it's like all those. So in our heads, we have like a baseline to go, oh, this character should be strong because they're like this character. And so when the E100 series show up, you're not just like, okay, they're robots, dude. Just like break them, know, because you in your brain, you're going, oh, dude, a E100 series. That's got to be bad news. So that's where I think it does work, which is in the idea of like why they were able to like, get kind of dunked on these guys is that these are E100 robots. So you buy the idea that they're really strong.
Yeah. I agree.
It's a problem with IDW because then they just have him fight random robots and it's like, whoa, look how cool Sonic is. I'm like, as far as I know, anybody can do that.
Yeah. What you're telling me you don't like him fighting random hammer robot number 37?
Heroes. No, I don't.
That's the thing, Ian. That's the game you played.
That is
don't
the
you
thing
like?
I know.
You know that thing. Clap.
Well, the thing. Well, when he does that, a time he does that does work is when he has the Shadow androids
that was cool.
Kill off Whisper's team, and the reason that works is because Shadow androids look like Shadow, and so you're going, they must be strong.
Well, and also in the games you fight Shadow androids and they are strong, so.
Yeah, but I just mean like in terms of even if you haven't played the games, oh wow, a robot that looks like Shadow, that's not good.
yeah, that was admittedly really cool.
Yeah, so that's real. But yeah, basically props. He was able to make a new thing that also looks like it should be a problem, and that's pretty cool.
Yes. Tangle and Whisper wasn't bad, was it?
I like Tangle and Whisper.
That was
one
a decent
of the IDW things I like.
Yeah, was it? Have you read any of Imposter Syndrome? Is that any good?
Yeah, I just finished it. It's awful. We need you and I. Well, issue 50 is coming out, so when it comes out, you and I, our next video, maybe we should do a catch up for you since you You stopped reading after Zombat, right?
I stopped reading after that awful arc with
The
the
Chow Racer.
VR game.
Oh,
The Chow racing was bad. I quit like halfway through. I quit, no, 3/4 of the way through the one where they go to that island and they get into like, I think the Egg Viper shows up and Eggman puts on like a VR headset and Bell and Tangle are there and it's a whole thing.
yeah. No, we should catch up.
You know what? Okay. I'll make a commitment. I'll list out all the things I need to read. Audience, you can hold me to this. And then we'll do a special episode of Sonic Comic Chaos. It'll be like a 0.5 where we just talk about everything IDW Sonic from like whatever that arc was called after Chow Races and Badnik Bases to now to issue 50.
That means you also have to read Bad Guys.
I read Bad Guys. I just didn't review it, so we
Okay,
could
well,
we could talk about it. I reviewed the first episode of the first issue, and then it did like okay views, and then I recorded the other 3, and I was like, I don't want to edit this, and so I didn't.
These ingrates aren't going to watch it, so.
No. But so, all right, that's maybe probably not our next episode. We'll probably do whatever the Shadow versus Knuckles one is next. But then the episode after that will be, why am I agreeing to this? I already regret it.
You're like, oh, wait, then I have to read IDW.
I have to read so much IDW.
Get ready to complain. It's going to be great.
It is going to be. We haven't had a complaining episode in a while.
Are you excited for Girl Scourge?
Don't. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And burn it.
We'll burn it.
Alrighty. But yeah, we're almost done with this story. So
we're almost done with this story. Ambushed, part 2 of 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 267. There's a fun variant cover that's Christmas themed. That's fun. But so I have like 4 notes for this, so we should get through it pretty quick. Sonic is racing Moss through the forest, and then Sonic wins, and then they fight a robot, then they beat it. So that's that plot. So then the Freedom Fighter plot is they're all idiots and they fall for this trap, and meanwhile Tails doll is breaking into the Sky Patrol, and so Cream and Big and Cream and Big and also the Chow come and save them. They go back to the Sky Patrol. They're all really sad because they got their butts kicked. And then Sonic shows up and he's like, "Don't be sad. We'll figure it out." And then they're like, "Oh, well, there's another way we can get a Chaos Emerald because there's a tournament going on." And they're like, "What? The tournament's run by her?" And then we see that Breezy from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is holding a tournament for everyone can fight to get a Chaos Emerald, and then the issue ends.
Yeah, so what did you think of this idea of like they all lose, they all suck, and then Sonic's like, "Well, but I don't suck," and they're like, "That's fair," and then that's the message, I guess.
It's fine. I think like again, if you're not gonna have Sonic go through like his own interesting character arcs, like him being kind of like the rock that everyone leans on, I think that's interesting. I think even when you do have, in like Preboot, when he goes through his own interesting character arcs, I think I saw an interesting post about this on Twitter about the whole "should Sonic cry" controversy going on, where it's like Sonic sees himself as like, like he has to take charge. He has to be, people mirror what he's doing. So the idea that he feels he has to be like this positive force, I think I have no opinion. I think it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, I already don't really care about the Freedom Fighters in this version of the story anyway, but to have like a story be like, yeah, they're pretty much worthless. It's like, yeah, that's about what I thought. Whereas in Preboot, you have the Eggman Empire arc where the whole point is that Sonic loses and he's like, "Yep, fair game, but you know who you can't beat? All my friends." And then they like curb stomp Eggman.
Yeah.
And it's great. Yeah. And the whole point is to be like Sonic and the Freedom Fighters are all fighting back against Eggman. And like, even in a situation where Sonic can't win, he has all these other people who are willing to fight just as hard.
Yeah.
And then we're here and they're like, "Well, I mean, what'd you expect, idiots?"
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not great. It's very. I mean, the fact that I think I summarized this issue in 30 seconds probably says a lot.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask you this. This far into it, so how do you feel about the kind of characterization of the Freedom Fighters? Like, are any of them as like enjoyable or endearing to you as not as pre-boot, but like are they, how much have they endeared you to these versions?
It's a good thing you amended that because my answer was going to be no.
Yeah,
But
obviously no, but
but
which wouldn't even be fair even if they were really good because there just hasn't
yeah.
been enough time. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're fine. I think I'm really excited for the next Sonic Universe arc that we have after Total Eclipse because it looks like that one focuses more on the other Freedom Fighters, and I assume we'll.
Is that the Sally one?
It looked like it. It had her on the cover.
Yeah, so it's that one.
Yeah, that one I feel like will probably endear me more to them. I think right now it's whatever. I think when they work, they work. The chase, I think they were all really good in that.
Yeah, they're all super
Um,
funny in that one.
Again, I like Antoine and Bunny. I think their dynamic is cute. Like I said, I like this version of Antoine.
Mhm.
Bunny's again, she's fine. Like they're all fine. Like I don't hate any of them. Which is
Yeah.
not a high bar,
Yeah, I was gonna
admittedly.
say because I loved them in pre-boot.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're I think they need some time to grow on me. But I think as it stands right now, I think I would feel comfortable saying I like them.
Yeah, me and my friend were talking about this where we were like, the because clearly when they got their new redesigns, the whole point is that they're supposed to look like game characters. They have gloves now, they have like shoes, they they have their designs are more simplified. Antoine doesn't have like his warrior's outfit or anymore, and that's because they wanted to try to in this version make it feel like they could be game characters. But I think the biggest problem that they all fall into, besides maybe Bunny, is that with Knuckles, like his thing is obvious. He can like glide and he can punch really hard. And with Mighty, he's just like overwhelming strength. And then like Ray has kind of like this flight thing, and like they're kind of their own separate team. But when you have the main team of Sonic and Tails, and Amy, they have Hammer, Flight, and Speed. And then you have Antoine, who is Sword. And then you have then you have Rotor, who is Punch. And then you have Sally, who is Two Swords. And then you have Bunny, who is Shoot and Fly. And it kind of feels like they don't really have any like overwhelming strengths. And that kind of seems like it kind of puts them in positions like this where they go on this mission, and it's just like they don't really have anything to back themselves up because their powers are pretty mid.
Yes. I think that's fair. I don't know. I think again, I think I just need to see more of them. I don't know. I have I think my bigger problem is I have no opinion on them. Like
Yeah.
they've done nothing to offend me, but they've also done nothing to make me go, "Oh man, I really like them." Again, except for but even that's not entirely true. Like I said, I like Antoine. I like there have been instances, but there's nothing like and it's very unfair to compare them to the pre-boot characters. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Maybe if we see more, like again, obviously going into this, I'm a big Sun Alley guy. I liked their relationship in pre-boot, and seeing that go away is unfortunate. But like, if in this, if they do something interesting with her and Nicole, like that could give me something. I think that's the thing. I need something to grab onto. I think that's why Antoine and Bunny so far are the standouts for me, is because they have their relationship. Like they have a thing that's at the core of their characters that's like, oh, that. Whereas like with the others, it's like they're here, they're doing stuff.
Yeah. No, I getcha. Yeah, so I definitely hope we get more out of them because that would be great.
Well, I mean, you would know better than I do if we do.
Well, it's just more of like I know there's going to be more stories with them, but I'm just trying to remember like anything specific that stood out to make me go, "Oh yeah, I really like them." So that'll be more on like the repeat review, like the repeat viewing. That'll see if it sticks out.
Yeah. I mean, we have the main book ends at 290, right?
Yeah.
We got 23 more issues.
Well, and you have to cut out like a few of those because they're for the Mega Man crossover.
Shit. When is that, by the way? What do you remember when that is? Are we getting close to that?
We are.
Fuck.
Let me see. I think that's after the fighters arc.
Oh, damn it.
I mean, we could just skip it. It's bad.
No,
and it gets It gets retconned anyway, as
We
to not have
can't skip
happened.
it. We can't
Oh,
skip it.
why would you make me suffer? Even Ian Flynn doesn't like that art.
You're making me read IDW. You don't get to talk
That's
about this.
true. I guess you have to punish me some of these days.
But so, should we? Maybe we should do like a fun 2-part episode for that, where like the first part is Worlds Collide, because we never talked about Worlds Collide, and then we talk about Worlds Unite. So
Yeah,
there
we
could
can
be
do
some
that.
fun to be had.
Yeah, we could do that, and then it'll be a good idea because then we can compare.
Yeah, yeah. That also means we have to read 2. Like, I mean, I know Worlds Collide is like 12 parts, so that's gonna be
I mean,
a
I
lot of
think
reading.
they both are. So
Oh,
I think
great!
I think
That'll
they
be
are. Yeah.
that'll be fun. That's
Heck yeah.
it's a good thing I'm done with this semester, but I have a lot of reading to do this summer. All
Lot
right,
of
but
time.
so yeah, this issue 267, it's fine. It's my last note was just breezy, huh? Which I mean I knew like about her being in reboot, so like it wasn't a surprise, but it was just kind of like, you really did that, huh? That was really, because it's weird, because like you talked about, this is very much like with reboot, they're very much trying to like take Archie and like mold it into the games. Like they're trying to take it like what Archie Sonic is and like Sega-ify it. And then it's just like, and breezy.
I mean, yeah, but I like that stuff, and also the German professor or whatever is in the Silver Arc, and he's from Adventures.
Oh shit, you're right, he is.
So, but I mean, that's cool. I like seeing Adventures get some love.
Oh, me too, absolutely. It's I do wonder. I mean, I guess we'll see next time how they're gonna do that. If there's a rule that that Sonic can't like have romantic attachments. The whole point of that episode was him simping over this robot chick.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you could bring her back.
Yeah, I don't know.
And except you do.
Except I do.
All right, but so I feel like we could call it there for Control and Ambushed. It sure did exist.
Yeah, it's like a 5 or a 4.
Yeah.
My rating system is that a 5 is it happened, it existed, didn't hate it, never going back to it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's definitely I feel like what we're talking about, it's weird because what we're going to be talking about next episode was like my favorite of what we've read so far. And this wasn't my least favorite. That's still Countdown to Chaos, but it was very whatever. So
yeah, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, I remember this Shadow and Knuckles arc being cool, so here's hoping it is cool.
Here's hoping. Well, here's hoping. But so yeah, I feel like that's about all we have to say about that. For as this arc was, we still have over an hour of footage from it, so shows you. I think that says more about us than it does about the comic, though.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
this was fun as usual. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Yeah, before we go, I mean, you did at the beginning, but you want to real quick again plug your channel?
Yep. So my channel is Ian Waffles. I have a Twitter by the same name, and yeah, I'm just working on anime videos and currently a Kingdom Hearts 2 video. So if any of that interests you, then check it out. Otherwise, on Twitter, I mostly just retweet stuff. So that's about it.
Yes, I am. He's on Twitter at Ian Waffles. I am on Twitter at the Silver Race 01. I'm here. I do stuff. I mean, I mostly do this. I don't post a lot of other stuff. Maybe I'll post some more stuff soon, though. Got a big project I'm working on that I'm not gonna say anything about quite yet because I don't know when it's coming out. It's not Sonic related, so please don't unsubscribe from hearing that. But I'm rambling. Ian, save me.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Peace out.